We need to obtain the derivative of y with respect to x whenever x and y are given in its parametric form. That means they are dependent on the parameter theta. So we'll begin with whatever we're provided with. Here we are given x equals to e raised to the power of theta multiplied to theta plus 1 over theta. And we have y given by e raised to the power of negative theta multiplied to theta minus 1 over theta. Now taking the derivative on both sides with respect to theta, we have e derivative with respect to theta of e raised to the power of theta multiplied to theta plus 1 over theta. This will give us derivative with respect to theta of e raised to the power of theta. So we're treating e raised to the power of theta as the first function. This will get multiplied to our second function, which is simply theta plus 1 over theta. Added to, we'll keep the first function aside. We'll multiply it to derivative with respect to theta of theta plus 1 over theta. Now derivative of the exponential function gives back the original function e raised to the power of theta. That will get multiplied to theta plus 1 over theta plus e raised to the power of theta multiplied to, so we have to take derivative of each of the terms within the parentheses. So derivative of theta with respect to theta is going to be 1, and derivative of 1 over theta is going to be negative 1 over theta squared. So we have two terms. In both the two terms we have e raised to the power of theta as the common factor. So let's take this as the common factor, and then we will multiply it to theta plus 1 over theta plus 1 minus 1 over theta squared. So this is the value of derivative of x with respect to theta. We're going to label this as equation number 1. We'll come back to it in a moment. Now we will consider our function y, and we are going to take the derivative on both sides of y with respect to theta. So this will be equal to derivative with respect to theta of e raised to the power of negative theta multiplied to theta minus 1 over theta. So this gives us, so here we'll treat e raised to the power of negative theta as the first function. So we'll keep it aside and multiply it to derivative with respect to theta of our second function plus theta minus 1 over theta. So we're treating keeping the second function aside and multiplying it to derivative with respect to theta of e raised to the power of negative theta, which will be equals to e raised to the power of negative theta. This will get multiplied to derivative of theta with respect to theta, so that's 1. Derivative of negative 1 over theta will be positive 1 over theta squared plus theta minus 1 over theta multiplied to derivative of e raised to the power of negative theta will be e raised to the power of negative theta. But since we have negative theta, there will be a factor of minus 1, which results as a consequence of the chain rule. Now we can take e raised to the power of negative theta as the common factor. That will get multiplied to 1 plus 1 over theta squared. So here we have a negative here, so this will become negative theta plus 1 over theta. We're going to label it as equation number 2. Now our final task will be to obtain the value of derivative of y with respect to x. All you have to do is take derivative of y with respect to theta and divide it with derivative of x with respect to theta. This gives us e raised to the power of negative theta. So this is obtained from equation number 2. So we have 1 plus 1 over theta squared minus theta plus 1 over theta whole divided by, we have e raised to the power of positive theta multiplied to theta plus 1 over theta plus 1 minus 1 over theta squared. Right. So this gives us, what we'll do, we'll multiply both numerator and denominator with theta squared. So this gives us e raised to the power of negative theta. We're going to multiply theta squared with the terms within the parentheses. So here we have theta squared plus we have theta squared over theta squared. This will be 1. Theta squared times theta will be theta cubed plus theta squared over theta will be positive theta. Whole thing divided by with e raised to the power of theta. So we have theta multiplied to theta squared will be theta cubed plus theta squared over theta will be theta plus theta squared minus 1. So we have successfully obtained the value of derivative of y with respect to theta, and here we can clearly see that our answer is in terms of the parameter theta.